Yo, what up, guys? How you guys doing? I'm just gonna jump right in. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm about to let you guys know what's going down in these gaming streets. So you got Sony over there complaining, right? Jim Ryan over there crying about the whole Call of Duty Activision deal, right? We all been seeing what's going on all of the blogs and vlogs and everything, right? I'm pretty sure most of us have seen it. It's looking real bad and it's getting real ugly over there at Sony. So we have some fanboys, that's pretty much on Sony's side and pretty much telling Xbox, Phil Spencer, put down your wallet, stop buying up everything and create your own Call of Duty. Pretty much all of this is over, all because Sony is crying to the board down there in Brazil, going to the UK crying to everybody over there, complaining left and right. Like it's never enough for Sony. It's never enough. Their greed, grimy, scheming, shady tactics is just never stop. Those Decepticons don't care about nobody but money. Their greed have taken over their whole company. Like it's like a plague. It's like a bunch of zombies over there at Sony. Nobody knows what they're doing anymore. It's no guidance, no good leadership over there. Like all they can do is complain whenever Xbox start to compete and clap back. Now it's a problem. Now it's an issue. Now they're mad. Now how are you going to be mad at somebody wants to compete for their $1 billion corporation and stand up for the actual gamers and get feedback? Now, I haven't really heard much on Sony asking from feedback from their fan base, but you have Xbox. They're about to bring a new, I think, interface or a new dashboard to the whole ecosystem, the Xbox Game Pass and the whole display, and they're getting the feedback from fans and audiences across the world, right? So I haven't really heard anything coming from Sony's front office trickling down to their fan base and getting feedback from the fans and saying, hey, what do you think we should do to bring more value to the PlayStation platform? Whether you're going to be on cloud gaming on PC, whether you're going to be on PlayStation ecosystem, whether you're going to be on PS4, what can we do to make PlayStation better besides cry about Call of Duty? That's all what's going on right now. Like it's nothing. It's like every announcement. Okay, I'm looking at videos. I'm looking at all of the new games that now there are a lot of indie games coming out and a lot of multi-plat games are coming out that's keeping both consoles afloat and PC. So those guys deserve so much, pretty much displaying their games on the platform on PlayStation Plus service. I don't understand why they will not add these games on there, because they're not their first party AAA bangers. Sony wants to protect the quality, right? They want to charge $70, lock you behind, gatekeep, lock you behind that $70 price tag, right? So they say we're going to drop quality if we add day ones to our PlayStation Plus subscription service. That's what all of this is really over, to compete with Game Pass over here with all of the AAA bangers that's on the way next year. So they can't compete. You dig? They can't compete. Come next year, they can't compete. That's what to sum it all up, to make a long story short, Sony knows they cannot compete with Xbox going into next year. All they have is God of War and maybe Spider-Man if it don't get delayed. We don't even know. And Wolverine can be years out. We don't know. They have been delaying games left and right. Hopefully Gotham Knights, hopefully that multi-plat drops, but that should be on Games of Service, a live service game. That should be on PlayStation Plus Premium as well, due to it's a multi-plat game. Now your first party games, if you charge $70 for those, I can kind of understand why those may be like God of War, Uncharted of the world, Horizon, Gran Turismo. I can kind of understand why your first party AAA bangers for PlayStation would be $70. But when you just all out being greedy and you want to go complaining to the board down there in Brazil, complaining to the board over there in the UK, complaining, crying, saying they need to stop the Call of Duty Activision deal. You have way more things to be worrying about, Jim Ryan. Lying Jim Ryan over there, you Decepticonic idiot. You have more stuff to be worrying about than trying to stop Call of Duty Activision deal. Now, no, he have a huge problem with Microsoft, Xbox, and Uncle Phil buying things. Like, Sony had to clap back with Bungie when they found out the whole Call of Duty deal was coming through, and they had already bought Bethesda, right? So they was already working on little backdoor deals. They were locking down games behind Xbox back in the day. So now that they bought, they have two big ones, Bethesda, and you have, pretty much Activision Blizzard. Those are enough. Those studios right there alone are enough to take Sony out. Just those combined right there. You know how many studios they have together already? Over 30 plus studios. I think they almost have 50 up to 50 studios. By next year, they want another 30 to 50 studios. Like, Xbox is not messing around. Sony has no chance this generation. It's over. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna come out and say it. They don't have no chance of long-term competing. Yeah, it's real cute this first couple years. They've been dropping those little AAA bangers over there. Okay, that's all good. But now it's coming back to bite them. So you want to lock down Final Fantasy. You want to lock down Resident Evil. Forspoken. Don't even want to send Forspoken to PS4 people. You guys already know how I feel about that. I don't feel like that was right for them to do that. You're going to send a cash grab or side hustle money over to PC. You're leaving 100 million plus fans behind over there on PlayStation 4 Pro. Why would you do that, Sony? Come on now. Like, that's a bad business deal. Aren't you supposed to be greedy, want everybody money, but you making bad deals like this? I don't see. That's when the bipolarness comes in. Like, he wants to do one thing, but then he does another thing. Jim Ryan don't even know what he wants to really do. If you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, get out. Let someone else run PlayStation. Like, just completely remove, just step down, move out of the way from somebody. You can bring one of these content creators, one of these huge gaming content creators, and run PlayStation better than Jim Ryan right now. That's how bad it is right now. And that's just game politics. That's just my opinion. I'm just a messenger. I don't have a problem with PlayStation, but I do have a problem with Sony, the way they run their business. PlayStation as a brand is suffering due to their being misguided up there at Sony's front office. And someone has to say something. Like, they're just letting everything slide. And you have all these fanboys defending everything bad that Sony is up there doing. And it's not right. Are you going to tell? So you're going to tell Xbox to close their wallet, right? Stop spending money, stop buying up everything. But hasn't that what Sony been doing for years, right? Locking down all these exclusive deals, DLCs, games, Final Fantasy. When is Final Fantasy ever going to see the light of day on Xbox? Those idiots are locking down everything. It's like tit for tat. They don't want. Okay, it's like a stingy kid. Like if you go in a candy store or you take a kid's candy or a lollipop, and he don't want to share. He doesn't want to share anything. He is greedy with everything he does. I bet at night when Jim Ryan, when he goes to sleep, I bet he pulls the cover off his wife because he don't want to share his cover. That's how stingy this guy is. He don't want to leave nothing on the table, like, for nobody else to eat. They are the market leaders. Why are you crying about one game, one AAA banger, when you have 10 over here on PlayStation already? Sony is extremely greedy and grimy, and they're stealing from their own fan base. That's right, they're stealing billions of dollars from their own fan base. That is just low down, and that's why I will not support PS5 console. But I will jump into the ecosystem because I still do like PlayStation. I just don't rock with Sony, and their greed have opened my eyes to see that is not how a business should be ran. And I really hope if there are any business owners out there, anybody that's considering opening their own business, becoming a game designer, art designer, or anything in the gaming industry, do not follow behind Sony. Your business will eventually crash and burn, because right now they are tearing PlayStation apart. They are dividing the gaming community over greed. Clearly you can see everything is greed. It's in the open. But they want Xbox to close their wallet. They don't want no one to compete with them so they can stay at the top of the mountain by themselves. And they don't have to. Do you realize do you realize if you don't have anyone to compete with, your games will not advance. They will not get better. You will not have better graphics. You will not have better quality. You will not be pushed to your limits if you don't have people competing with you. Like Nintendo, sales are skyrocketing, all due to this announcement of PlayStation 5 price hike. Xbox selling like hotcakes over here in the US and other places in other regions due to PlayStation price hike. Don't get me wrong. Now, PlayStation is still selling good. They're still selling good. It's still selling very good. But at the same time, it's starting to thin out. Xbox is running them down at a very high speed right now, because around the holidays they're pushing out so many Xboxes and Sony still can't keep up with demand. Now they're changing it, talking about they're going to make it slim, they're going to make it cheaper. How are you going to make a console cheaper but charge more? Okay, I'm gonna say it one more time for the fanboys, because you know how in denial Sony ponies and Sony fanboys are. They're just so in denial. They don't get it. It's just like they have the thickest skull in the world. Like, how are you going to charge more for PlayStation 5s if you're making them cheaper? Okay, so you're using cheaper materials to make the console, to make it smaller, slimmer, the heat sink, to make it whatever you're doing. You're making the consoles, it's cheaper to make the PlayStation 5s now, but you're charging more. So now you're double dipping. Okay, so you're trying to go back and say, okay, where did we go wrong? Are we spending more to make the PS5s? No matter what they do, it's like Sony is trying to come out on top. And I don't know who was calling the shots over there at Sony. I don't know. They won't show their face. I know it cannot just only be Jim Lion Ryan. It cannot just only be that Decepticon itself. It's always a group. But they always send their little puns out there to talk to the medias and the people. So they make him look bad, but it's not just him. There's more people behind that deal that's going through. Some of these things have to be passed. Like, someone is making a call that's designing the PlayStation or something, or they're trying to constantly figure out how to make it cheaper. Which means if you're using cheaper materials to make the PlayStation, in time they're gonna fail. You're gonna break in about a year or two. If you're a hardcore gamer, you're eventually going to tear that PlayStation 5 up. Because first of all, most people don't even turn their consoles off. And if it's constantly running, they come home from work and now your console is froze up or just shuts off, or a little error comes up that it won't cut back on or something like that, they're eventually going to tear up if you're making it cheaper to basically make more money off of it. But you don't want Xbox to compete. That's what this is all about. They don't want Game Pass to compete with PlayStation $70 price tag games. That's what this is over. This whole trying to cancel Call of Duty Activision Blizzard deal is over. Game Pass. To sum it all up. And that's why I try to give you guys better value in gaming, and I will put links down in the description so you guys can jump into the PlayStation ecosystem with PlayStation Plus Premium only on PC, or Game Pass Ultimate on PC, mobile, TVs, your console, your phones, your tablets. You have so many different ways you can jump into Xbox Game Pass ecosystem, and it is definitely for the players, and it's affordable. Now, if you don't have a PS5 and you have a PC, you can click the link and at least you can jump into the PlayStation ecosystem, because I know PlayStation have a huge fan base and they cannot get their hands on one. So if you want to jump into the ecosystem, guys, just click the link and only purchase PlayStation Plus Premium Cloud Gaming. Do not purchase anything else, because if you do, you will not be able to use it on your PC or laptops, or maybe even Mac, Apples, or whatever. But if you have a PC, you can jump into the PlayStation ecosystem and play Miles Morales of the world, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima's, The Last of Us, Uncharted. The list go on. But I don't know why they don't promote this, but I'm trying to help the gaming community game better. So till later, guys, we will jump back into some more of these topics, these game politics, and watch out for those Decepticons over there at Sony, because they are not your friend. Only thing they want is your money. So keep your eyes open and your ears open so you can listen out for all the toxicity over there with those fanboys. So till next time, guys, make sure you smash that like, that subscribe button, click that notification bell, guys, so you can be updated on all of the new latest and greatest news off here in these gaming streets. And peace.